Hello students, today we are going to take up a very interesting topic, fiction and non-fiction. I'm sure all of you are fond of reading books, and when we talk of reading books, how can we forget the famous bestseller Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. It's such a fascinating book that actually transports us to the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and the amazing wizard Harry Potter. The supernatural elements and the magical creatures are all so magical and wonderful. But students, let's ponder. Do you think all these elements are actually real? We need to ponder about it. Let me take you now to another book, a very famous book, Wings of Fire by Dr. APJ Kalam. It's an autobiography where Dr. Kalam talks about his journey from his humble background in Tamil Nadu to becoming India's most beloved and favorite figures. Here he talks about his challenges and struggles that he faced in his life before he reached the pinnacle of success. He talks about real events and real people. Now question arises, whatever we read in our life, is it real or imaginary? Students, whatever content we come across our lives, whether it's the stories in English, the history events, or the laws and proofs that we read in mathematics, or the audio-visual content that we interact with, be it the TV news or the sports shows or movies, it can be classified into two major categories, namely fiction and non-fiction. Fiction is something that is imaginary, whereas non-fiction is in total contrast to fiction. It is based on real facts and it is true. So the catchword here is true and the catchword for fiction is imaginary. Today, we are going to delve deeper into these two categories. Let's start with fiction first. What is fiction? Fiction is actually the literature that is created from and for the imagination. हम एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं हैरी पॉटर का. The setting of this story is Hogwarts School of Witchcraft, which is actually imaginary. It doesn't exist in the real world. And if we talk about the characters, whether it's Hermione, Ron, the magical creatures, the witches, everything is imaginary. And the events, if we talk about the famous Quidditch game that is actually played on broomsticks, doesn't exist in the real world. It's all imaginary, just created for the purpose of storytelling, just to engage the readers in a very interesting manner. Let me talk about Malgudi Days, a very important short collection of stories by Indian writer R.K. Narayan. Again, the setting here, the town of Malgudi doesn't exist. It is again an imaginary town, and the characters, Swami, Rajam, Leela, everybody is imaginary. Yes, but the experiences and their daily adventures actually give us a peep into the human nature and Indian culture. Now the question arises, why should we read fiction? Yes, we should read fiction because it fosters our imagination and helps us to realize the impossible. If we talk about The Time Machine, a famous work of fiction by H.G. Wells, it explores the theme of time travel and expands the evolution of human mind and the science and technology that can happen in the near future. Now you must be wondering, what are the books that come under this category? So under fiction, we have contemporary romance novels, short stories by famous writers like Ruskin Bond or French writer like Guy de Maupassant. Then we have mystery fiction like the famous Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle, and historical fiction, A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth. So all these come under fiction, and I'm sure you must have been enjoying reading these books. So always be careful, whatever you are reading, this comes under fiction. Let's move on to non-fiction now. What is non-fiction? Non-fiction is in total contrast to fiction. It is based on reality. The key word is facts. It talks about real event, real people and real happening. So let me take the example of Wings of Fire, जो हमने बात की थी autobiography by Dr. APJ Kalam. Here he talks about his childhood, his friends, his parents and his teachers like Ramananda Shastri who helped him shape his career in science and technology. He also talks about his life at ISRO, the Pokhran nuclear test and his role as the President of India. So basically everything is real, there is nothing imaginary about it. So this is all about non-fiction. Now the question again arises, why should we read non-fiction? When we read non-fiction, the newspaper articles or the biographies or the science journal, it actually enhances our knowledge about various topics and helps us develop our critical thinking skills. It helps us to stay informed and aware. Now the primary purpose here is to educate and the key word here is persuade. How do we get persuaded when we read non-fiction? Let me give you the example of a self-help book. For example, if you read a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, you are persuaded to adopt certain kind of behavior to become happy and successful in life. This is the purpose of non-fiction. Now again, what are the books that come under this category? So we have books like science, history, biographies, cooking books, health, fitness, art, music, autobiographies and essays. All these come under non-fiction. So just to recap, fiction is imaginary and non-fiction is real. I'm sure students, now you are able to identify the features of each category and would be able to differentiate one from the other. So here I have a task for you, a very simple task. You have to categorize these books into fiction or non-fiction, and the books are Albert Einstein, The Genius Who Failed School, Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, The Test of My Life, From Cricket to Cancer and Back by Yuvraj Singh, On the Origin of Species by Charles Darwin, and Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. I'm sure you would be able to do this simple task, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Happy learning.